Now, welcome back to Netflix Football FA Cup, fourth round, Manchester United versus Liverpool. But before we go into the state of things, I'd like to thank you all for 400 subscribers. 1 month, 10 days, we are at 400, guys, and it's been an ethereal journey, if you ask me, covering all the pre-matches, mainly for Manchester United, other Premier League matches, Champions League matches, Europa League matches. We've done them all. Best mobile streams as well. But today or tonight is all about the Northwestern Derby revisited 1 week after the mega podcast. And with me are two very special guests, two brothers of mine. I'll just bring them on screen right now. Hi Anujit and Neil.
Hello.
Welcome Anujit to the channel. Welcome. It's your debut at Netflix Football. Anujit is a fellow United fan, and you've always all seen Neil. He's my mate from college, whom I cannot stand still at this day. But it's like a Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville kind of a relationship. So we know what happens both over the table and under the table. So 30 minutes to go for the lineups to come in. We'll discuss a few things. I'll start with Anujit. Anujit is right now based in England. So Anujit, how's the COVID scenario over there? How are you, by the way?
I'm not too bad. People around me are not too bad as well as of now. The rate of COVID cases are decreasing day by day, fortunately. But this country is the worst hit country with coronavirus, especially. So it's a tough situation, but we are all in it together. So
Yeah, cool. I remember I started doing podcasts when I was associated with a different channel, and that was during the lockdown pandemic period. And I remember speaking at the end of every video to stay safe and just holding on a bit more. And football has always united us. So let's hope that this situation is sorted out very quickly. We can return to the stadiums. We can be where fans are supposed to be, the 12th man. And talking about the 12th man, Neil would know the most about the KOPP army right now. But at the same moment of time, Neil, do you think that the KOPP army is actually needed to revitalize Liverpool's mishaps? What 4 matches without a goal? What do you think?
We could do with a lot of 12 men right now, to be very honest. Rather more than just the 12 man. I think for the past 2.5 to 3 years, we have been, or especially Klopp has been, stuck with the same tactics, same formations, and doing the same things over and over again. The point is that for the last 2.5 years, it has been successful, though everyone knew that what we are going to do, where our attacks going to come from, but they had no answers for that. But they have now. They do have the answers now. And it for the last 3 years almost, it has been like Arjen Robben through the right wing. Every goalkeeper knew what he was going to do, moving in the right wing, cutting in and scoring the curlers. But now we are misfiring. We are not even firing, to be very honest. Mane, Salah, Firmino not very much active in the goal. Origi missing some clear-cut chances. So we need reinforcements perhaps, or maybe some cop-in boosters or something like that. But let's do hope for the best. And I wish that at this point, I'm not looking forward to any defense or any attacking players, but I really want Naby Keita to be back. I have always thought great of him, and Thiago and Naby Keita together has been magic for the last two to three games that they have played. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, I was on mute. So you talked about how Liverpool's front end has been misfiring, but to a stark contrast to that, it has been an immense performance at the back for United, where Harry Maguire has come in. So Anujit, before I'd like to come to you that since the Spurs defeat, the 6-1 defeat that United had, how has Harry Maguire influenced the team both as a silent leader and as well a rock or a slab at the back? What do you think?
see, I'm not one of those delusional fans that ride on those bandwagons, but I do believe that after the Spurs game, Harry Maguire undoubtedly has been one of the best centre backs in the Premier League, along with West Fofana, Ruben Diaz, Eric Dyer. I think Harry Maguire, given his price, people look at his price tag first, then that player. He's been solid since the 6-1. I know the 6-1 game was um, a bad taste in the mouth of Harry Maguire. You saw he pushed Luke Shaw down. and then Tanguy Ndombele scored. So that was really not up to his standards. But since that infamous Greek incident, I don't know what panned out there. So that took a huge mental toll on Harry. But yeah, since that day, since the Spurs mayhem, he's been undoubtedly one of the best centre backs in European football. In According to me, at least, I know many United fans don't like him. They say that Lindelof is better. They say that Bailly is better, but no one talks about Harry Maguire in that regard. So it is what it is. So I don't know.
Yeah, Neil, going over to you, like, would you agree with this statement? I know we had multiple conversations on how Harry Maguire has been that protection or that lethal force at the back. Like, I remember the first podcast we did, you and I together, I talked about how Harry Maguire should be the one who is sitting at the back rather than him pushing forward. And the tactical switch that they made where Lindelof or Bailly actually breaks the press of play and Harry Maguire shuttles in, ships it at the back, and has actually worked out for United. Neil, do you think would you agree with what Onijit has to say over here regards to Maguire?
Well, it's absolutely true that when someone talks about Harry Maguire, we first think about the price tag that he came for at United. So it was almost like a response that United was giving to Liverpool signing of Van Dijk. As we have seen when you go through the history as well, we have seen this. But to be honest, after the 6-1 hammering, or 6-1, wasn't it? Yeah, 6-1 hammering from the hands of Tottenham. I hate to say it, I hate to even admit it, but Harry Maguire has been really solid. I don't want to. I'm a very old school kind of a person, and I think like that of football as well. So when you talk about defenders, the creativity comes later half of the game. But when you talk about defenders, the defending, the soul defending, the just going all in with your tackles and with your challenges and being confident with it. We have seen Maguire doing that. Yes, a few sloppy passes and a few miscommunications has happened, and that happens in every sectors, if I may, in football. But yes, talking strictly about defending, he's really been pretty good. He's really been pretty good.
Now, much has been said about how Maguire this, Maguire that, Lindelof or Bailly. So much conundrum in the team selection, us being coaches at the helm of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But let's do a bit of tactical analysis over here. That many of us say that United play a deep block, but let me just bring it on screen. I'll talk with the perspective of Liverpool. I'll stick with Neil over here. So here you can see a screenshot of the match versus Liverpool last week, where Thiago, this was the only shot that Liverpool had on target from outside of the box. Courtesy to credits to United's defense that they did not allow that. And I was having a wonderful conversation with Neil over the phone a few days back that he said that Liverpool, the way they're suffering, their midfield is suffering and cannot actually have a say in their goals or the movements they make, is because of probably this thing. And you can see United have almost three players in front of the ball, four players inside the box, Mane in an offside position, where holding the line very properly. But what Liverpool have been efficient in the last 2.5 years is that breaking deep blocks and the likes of inside forwards of the caliber of Mane, Mo Salah, and a false line of Firmino, thriving on those half spaces that the wide midfielders or the overlapping fullbacks actually create by dragging the defense out wide. And suddenly, when they are compact, and suddenly that happens, Neil, I'll just ask you that to highlight the point that I said on Van Dijk, how a defender actually pushes the team forward, and that creates your deep lying playmaker, that enables your deep lying playmaker to play as a number 10, and how that opens space. Just elaborate us on this topic.
Um, See, the way we have been seeing that most of the teams, and especially in the last game as well, we have seen Man United putting up this excellent, tactical formation from Ole. That the four defenders are at back and the three midfielders are also closing in. That reduces the gap from the defense and the midfielders from a defensive point of view. So over here, as you can see, the only way to score from here is either Thiago shoots from there, or maybe if you can then just zoom out, we can see that Salah is standing in the far end, and Trent is not even making a run over there. You can see on the bottom of the screen, Trent is there, but he's not even making a run. So it's not giving Thiago a chance to pass the ball right towards the corner flag or somewhere like that, so that Trent can capitalize on that and he can move in. When there are such blocks, you see the four people, the back line is completely on the edge of the D box, and usually what we see is that the four of them are not there, three are there, depending on from which side we are attacking, or the opposition is attacking. So if Mane is attacking, then he would be Wan Bissaka would be over there and defending against Mane, and Salah would be marked by Shaw over there, and the four-man complete midfield is blocking the entire passage of any form of Liverpool attack. It blocks the passage from where the midfield has no other options. Shaqiri was frustrated, tried two shots. Thiago became frustrated and tried a shot, because we have no other options rather than giving the ball back to Fabinho or Hendo. At the same point of time, and if there was Van Dijk, and we relied so much on Van Dijk at that point of time, we could see that he was the only one-man defense, and that was enough for us. His height, speed, and everything was a complete package. So we relied completely on him, and he was the only one man back behind. Now we see Fabinho and Hendo, both who are creatively sound as well, but they are back over there defending the line, so they are not involved in any sort of creativity, and we can't expect any sort of high-end creativity from the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, to be very honest. When it comes to speed, he's on the top notch, but not on the creativity part of the side. At the same point of time, if you see Van Dijk was there, and the entire midfield would move up front, and in the same way we have defeated Man United and Burnley and all the last four games that we have drawn and lost in the last four games. We have defeated all of them last season. The only thing I think that the people are missing is that the Van Dijk up there is missing. Van Dijk in the behind is missing. He used to make people move forward and stay up there. He can tackle and he can handle all the situations all by himself. And we have seen that 2-on-1 situations against Tottenham, Harry Kane and Son with the ball chasing down to score a goal. Van Dijk handled it himself, and only one person could better him. That person belonged to Wolves, and he's in our club right now. So anyway, but I do think that this needs to be scrutinized very deeply by Klopp over here.
Now, Anuji, bringing you onto this, that Neil said whatever he has his tactical opinion on this deep block set of things. But would you agree that it was Liverpool's fault that they could not find the half space, or would you actually credit United, especially Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and Victor Lindelof, to cut down those spaces in between the center half and the fullback, where they actually push in those passes, where actually Thiago's balls end up a lot? So do you think that that was the case?
I would obviously create my team here. Just look at the shape. Just look at the back four here. Look at Bruno Fernandes and McTominay's shape, and look at the Liverpool front three. Look at Sadio Mane's position, and I think that's Firmino who's making the run, and I think
Yep.
there's Mohamed Salah. Look at the shape there. There's absolutely no shape. If you want to break the deep blocks, then what you have to do is isolate one of those centre back pairings, Lindelof or Maguire. We have seen Jose has done it. The way Harry Kane has made those passes to Heung-min Son, we have seen that. He isolated Harry Maguire one-on-one with Eric Bailly. Bailly could do nothing, and they scored the goal. Either I stretch them, isolate them, or stretch those fullbacks, Aaron Bissaka or Luke Shaw. Why are you forcing them to have this shape? This is the first mistake Liverpool have made, Liverpool's front three have made, and that's why they are misfiring at the moment, because this is the way United are playing. And I would credit McTominay, I would credit the two centre backs of holding that shape for the continuity of 90 minutes. So this is the only way only Pep Guardiola or Jose Mourinho can do it. I don't think Jurgen Klopp has the things at his disposal to break down the deep blocks that way. Those long balls won't help you any longer. I'm very sorry to say that.
That's a contrast to say that the likes of Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho both had a proper number 10. Even though we don't classify Harry Kane as a number 10, but he was doing the job. The split strikers up top, Heung-min Son, Bergwijn on either side, Harry Kane moving out wide, and Bergwijn. Jose Mourinho has a completely enunciated tactical setup that none of us can actually deny. Pep Guardiola, likewise, with his total football mumbo jumbo and thing, we know what a Pep Guardiola is at the moment of time. Similarly, Liverpool, what I think is missing, that number 10, and that allocation of Van Dijk in defense actually helps the likes of Thiago or Henderson to actually push 10 yards up the pitch and make those overloads. And when you make an overload, that allows Trent to run. We see Trent is always looking over his back. Maybe if there's a Rashford or a Martial out there making a run, because one transition of play, and you know how deadly United is. And with that, we'll actually show a slide. I'll stick with Anujit over here again. Is that yeah, all of us have seen the United Tiki Taka GIF that was created. So this is the screenshot over here. See how United are fluent on attack. Trent is almost nowhere in defensively because the 2v1 overload is there. Thiago is standing there. Shaqiri is marking the referee. Mustafi is crying somewhere. And you see Cavani trying to make that run. Fabinho does, since his lack of a defensive instinct, doesn't know where the run is going to be made. And credits to United here, Anujit, if you think that, if you say that, and we remember the continuous like 40 seconds of complete good play that United had through that momentum, through that build up, that led to this. Anujit, my question to you over here is that even though United are regarded as a counter-attacking team, would you say that Ole has been, with the passing out of the back, Ole is trying to actually build a possession-based team that would help us in the longer term of things?
Not only Ole, many people are involved there. McKenna is involved there. The great Michael Carrick is involved there. And I think Ole is a bit of a man manager more than a coach, I believe. People call him the PE teacher and whatnot, but I believe he's a good man manager of the team. And the way he has brought in the confidence between, see, Luke Shaw making those runs, we could never imagine that before his PSV injury. He was so afraid to go to be an offensive fullback. There's no such thing as offensive fullback, but we couldn't see Shaw make those runs in the box. This is credit to Luke Shaw that he's playing so good at that moment. But yeah, so the thing is, United, we are called the famous counter-attacking team. We are so threatening in counter-attacks, but sometimes the credit is not given to the midfield play, to the defensive positioning, to the discipline at the back four, to the discipline of David De Gea. The way McFred have played, I think 80% when McFred starts, McTominay and Fred, we win 80% or 70% of the matches. So we don't give credit to those peoples, and these people go under the radar. So I think that maintaining. So why do they go under the radar? So yeah, so this is completely to Ole, like, do your work silently and people will notice eventually. At the end of the day, hard work will be rewarded eventually. So yeah, I don't think we're tiki-taka position playing team, because if we were, then the possession stats would have favored us in this match. But yeah, we are the
But in the
counter.
longer side of things, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking.
Yeah. So yeah, we are the infamous counter-attacking team. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with having Cavani as the fox in the box that we have missed so much. Look at the positioning. I just love this guy. So yeah, we don't have that brain deadness anymore. I think that yeah, another thing, Tony Martial gets the stick for so much reasons, but he misses goals. I know he has the goal drought, but when Rashford plays with Martial, I see there's so much chemistry. There's so much attacking influence when going forward. Martial is like the link between creation and execution, like Roberto Firmino. I'm not. He's nowhere near Roberto Firmino. I'm just telling you, he's our personal Bobby Firmino, because
His
he's the
off the
link.
ball movement
Off
has
the ball
been
movies is
excellent.
fantastic, but the
Absolutely.
finishing he's brain dead. We can't help with that. He has been lazy. He has never
That does
shown the burst
also
of faith.
doesn't help the opposition keeper turning into a
Yeah,
Leviasin
yeah,
every
yeah.
match.
It's similar to Sterling in the England squad in 2018. People don't expect anything for Sterling, but he's like a joker in the pack. You can expect anything from him. He can do anything on his day. So Sterling was like that. He took us into the semi-final. If Kane would have squared it, then I don't know what would have happened. So similar things with Tony Martial. I'm still he's a number 9. He has the number 9 at the back, so he has to score goals. This is what I expect.
Absolutely.
Finally, yeah, no tiki taka for me. It's a counter attacking side for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So going over to Neil on this, in the second slide here, you see Luke Shaw actually centering the ball, and very few players have actually marked this guy. Now you may call Fox in the box Cavani, loads of experience, loads of goals, loads of match-winning performances, plethora of top-rated European clubs. Its stats speak for that. But this guy suddenly, like we discussed a few podcasts back, that sometimes he is your number 10 as an advanced playmaker, but sometimes he will get there into the box and make those chances. And Liverpool's fragile defense is what you see Henderson moving towards the goal, not anticipating and leaving his man. And what I ask you is that this has been very repetitive in Liverpool's recent run of play because of a non-existent defense. Maybe Matip can solve a bit of a problem because Henderson is clearly not cut out for this. Do you think that this is going to happen even today? We will see more of this even today.
See, this is something that I've been noticing since the departure of Van Dijk, actually. And what I have also pointed out is that this has been on a daily basis. This has been done, and it's not to leave any player of the opposition unmarked. It's not just Bruno Fernandes. It's been other people as well. Other people who are deadly in the box, who have a great both feet and are pretty good, especially inside the box, and they can haunt you. That these positions can haunt you later in the game. So what I've seen is that earlier when Van Dijk was there, we used to man mark people inside the box. We used to stick to the man, and we make sure that there was no much movement, not much movement. You see, in the last 2 years, we lost just a few games. Maybe these five fingers would be enough just to explain them that how many matches we lost. It was just because of him, but because we knew, because probably we knew that even if there is a there is a round back and the ball comes back at us, he is there to defend. Or the defense line was even if he's just there, his presence made so much of confidence among the other players that that he is there. Okay, so there's a lot of confidence in the back line as well. But now we are happy just to clear the ball up front, just clear it out, just, I mean, be like Vidic or someone and just clear it out, lash the ball out of the stadium. Maybe we are not even thinking about second chances or rebounds, anything anymore. And over here, and I think this was actually the place where Bruno got a shot. Bruno actually got a shot which was saved by Allison, if I'm not wrong. So that's another mistake, and this is something which you can expect because the players who are playing at the center back at that moment are actually not natural center backs. If they were natural center backs, they would have had something in the back of their mind that a player is moving in or doing something. So why can't we just move in and just stop that player or counter him or maybe just mark him or block him? But no, we couldn't. They couldn't look at. I mean, look at Hendo's body. He's just moving towards. He was just moving towards the goal post, like he wants to score the tap in or something. Fabinho is just looking that he wants to block the ball, and only Hendo and only right there, Robertson was taking up Cavani. What if he just put up a lobbed ball, and where does Robertson stand in front of Cavani? This is what happens when you don't have a proper center back lineups. That's a very big issue that we are facing right now. Lots of people are in rehab right now, so I just wish by the mid-Feb we get back. And there's 2 weeks of football, and we went from thinking of winning the Premier League, and now we are aiming at the top four. So big, huge change. This is a huge change.
Now, talking, Neil just said that how many players are in rehab at this moment of time, and I'm sure that if this guy, the next guy that we are bringing up on screen, if he plays another match, probably he will go into rehab because Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been out there on the United wide right since like time immemorial. I don't remember when I was born, but at the first time I opened my eyes, I saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka bombarding the right winger, right back slot. And now, why am I saying Aaron one winger? Because Anujit, you'd agree with me because a right winger was essential in this transfer in the last transfer window. We got Amad Diallo, we got Facundo Pellistri more for the future. But at this immediate term challenge for a title, you can't have your right back play week in, week out without a backup, that too operating as a right back and as an auxiliary right winger. Because in the last slide, you can see Rashford actually making that pass out wide and creating the space. Now, wherever Aaron Wan-Bissaka is, he does not have a passing outlet. Just look, he does not have a passing outlet. He has to drive in. And I remember this channel of play where he drove on, then he back passed. And if you remember the Aston Villa match where Rashford was playing as an out and out right winger, there you could see that he was making the chances. Wan-Bissaka was making those overlaps, and he got an assist. And he
Yes.
should have had three if not for Pogba's and Martial's piss poor finishing. But suddenly, Anujit, do you think that United at this moment of time, yes, in a rich vein of form, but the likes of you've seen how Luke Shaw has been excellent with rotation, with the resting and the competition. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has none, especially the rest. He's a good player, especially the rest that he's lacking. Do you think, Anujit, that this will actually haunt United, the lack of a proper right back option to actually come in for Aaron Wan-Bissaka in some games so that he can play to his full potential, considering that United do not have a right winger and he has to do that job as well?
See, both Aaron and Harry Maguire need a rest, but Harry Maguire can't get a rest because he's our captain and he's our best CB. That's all I can say. I don't care about Eric Bailly and whatnot. It's Harry Maguire. But coming to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he is one of those full backs or right backs who does his first duty. That is to defend. As Jamie Carragher said, he's a great one-on-one defender. But sometimes his positioning sense and some marking is not up to the mark. And right now, what I'm seeing from Aaron is what every other modern day fullback do or does, that is attack. And I've seen from the last 2-3 months that he is getting into those boxes, whipping those crosses. It's nice to see. It's very good. But talking about competition, I think we have so many in our academy, but Ollie thinks that they are not up to the billing. Brandon Williams is certainly not. Of what I've seen him play, he's
Please
not
no
up.
Brandon Williams
No.
on this
Never,
show.
never Brandon Williams. I feel sorry for the kid. He's one of our own, but he's not made tailor made for Premier League football or United. And Ethan led one of those kids. I think he's on loan somewhere. I think
Derby.
if Ollie would have trusted him, he at least would have given him a break in League Cup or FA Cup matches. So he's not up to the bidding. Talking about Fosu Mensah and Dalot, they're not in his plans. So I think there should be another like Telles. Telles is certainly not a backup LB in my eyes. He was a Portuguese league's MVP after Bruno left. Come on, he's not made to sit on the bench. But Luke Shaw's resurgence and Premier League experience helps him to start those matches. Similar cases for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. If we are to pick a right back, we can't do it from the Premier League because the up and coming right backs are of the same age, 21, 22, Tariq Lamptey and Max Aarons, those kids. And if we want to bring a foreigner, he will certainly not drop Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the moment. But he does need a rest, does need some competition. And I think that we do need a right back, but not that quality of a right back who starts day in, day out, benching Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because he is still young and he can still learn and he can be one of the best fullbacks in the future. So that's my take on it.
Now the thought is that United loaned Diego Dalot because we thought that he needs game time, proper first team game time, which is getting in and around the left back or the right back slot at AC Milan and is doing well. We thought that this would be a breakout season for Ethan Laird, considering he had been included in the Europa League subs bench or the reserves bench in the remainder of the campaign of whatever it was last season. I don't want to talk about Europa League. But suddenly, your Fosu Mensah has been sold to Bayer Leverkusen. Brandon Williams is nowhere, not even making the match day squad at times. And we know if Neil actually slithers me with a slang from base, like if he calls me stupid, he would rate me between the brains of a Brandon Williams to a Dan James. No disrespect, but they are good players, not cut out for actually these quality Premier League sides. They can have an impact on likes of Everton. No disrespect, Everton, Crystal Palace, but not just Man United, where you do need so much more. Now that thought with we have heard lots of journalists saying that United are looking for a right back on loan, maybe an experienced right back who would not compete, but actually fill in for the gaps for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because we have seen him fatigued, and that is actually causing a lot of problems for our defense, number one, as well as an overlap, because our play is mostly left sided,
Yeah.
and whenever we switch out to the right, it's just Aaron Wan Bissaka over there.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the lineup, and One Football is again not giving the lineup. Anuji, do you have the lineup?
Just 1 minute. I'm on Who
Even
Scored.
I'm going on
Probably they
Twitter.
have the lineups.
Even I'm going on Twitter.
Oh no, lineups are not out yet. So
I
I'm
am
sorry.
so least interested to see Liverpool's lineup right now.
Oh, it's six. It should be there. It's on Twitter, I guess.
Checking.
And it's out.
Everybody says
Oh my
thrilled with
goodness.
the lineup, but I don't see a lineup.
You want to hear Liverpool's
Okay,
team?
Liverpool start
Yeah.
with Henderson. Oh, sorry. United start with Dean Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, McTominay, Pogba, Greenwood, Van de Beek, Rashford, Cavani. Okay, surprise selection. Bruno finally dropping, getting a breather. Van de Beek starting, and we expected Matic and McTominay to start, and Neil has already his hands over his head. If I can just see the Liverpool lineup, just give me a sec.
Yeah, it's over. We are losing.
Liverpool. What is wrong with One Football, man? You guys should sponsor me first of all, and second of all, update your. You never get the lineups on time, and I don't. I have to follow Liverpool for their lineup. What the hell? Some banter over here. Let me see. Okay, Liverpool FC. The lineup is Alisson, Trent, Reece Williams, Fabinho, Robertson, Thiago Alcantara, Wijnaldum, Milner, Curtis Jones, Salah, and Firmino. Klopp actually rested Salah and Firmino. So actually, Klopp going with a different formation. Neil, your thoughts on this? Neil, just unmute yourself. You have muted yourself.
Okay. I'm sorry. Um, I have been telling you for the past week or so that we need to change formations. We need to look out for options and everything. And I think over here, United is playing with a 4-3-3, and we are potentially going for a 4-4-2 diamond. Wow, the tables have turned. It's good to see Reece Williams back. That lad is doing very good for us, in my perspective, in my point of view. The guy is doing really a lot. It's like a VVD light. Those hair and all those movements. He's pretty good. Good to see at least a center back in that back four. Um, Thiago is there. I'm pretty much sure that he has a lot of willingness to do something upright and very much positive with his game. And he got very much disappointed with the last two, fruitless efforts from our side. So I wish to see something good from his part as well. And we were just talking about number 10, right? So I think we would see number 10-ish playing style from Wijnaldum, if I may. It could be seen, or maybe James Milner would just go back down as defensive midfielder, and Thiago can move up as number 10 as well. We have got and Klopp likes this fluidic formation where all the players just moves around in and around them and just creates their own positions. And Mane and Salah up front, isn't it? It's just full on speed. Why do I see that Klopp is actually trying to do something that Fergie's been doing for
Salah and
ages?
Firmino has been rested.
Okay. So Salah and Firmino, my bad. Salah and Firmino. As you Salah and Firmino were rested in the last match. So both the teams have put up very strong lineups. I wasn't actually expecting this. I never expected this to be coming up, because I thought, maybe some Origi or Minamino would be playing, but clearly I think Klopp is paying more attention to Shaqiri, which is very good, which I always wanted, because Shaqiri is a world-class player and he deserves more time. He deserves more, match times and everything. So good to him. Good to see the lineup actually from both the clubs. They're not taking FA Cup lightly. They're not taking this tie any lightly than we were thinking it would be. It's really good to see in this manner.
I'm just bringing up the lineups. Just a sec. Okay, it's not opening. Just a sec. Just a sec. So this is Liverpool's lineup. This is how Liverpool actually go with Alisson, Trent. What I'm interested about is you see Reece Williams on one end and you see Cavani on the other end. Anujit, I'd like to ask you that how big a challenge for Reece Williams, considering United have Cavani, Pogba, Greenwood, Rashford, and even a Van de Beek, who is an enganche type of player, plays in and around the box to deal with.
I think Cavani is a headache for Fabinho and Robertson. I don't think Rhys Williams, if he's smart, he won't go anywhere near Edinson Cavani, because I'm not disrespecting Rhys here, but Cavani is not a typical number 9. He will just shoot, and inshallah he's like a plate in the box. He will just move around there. I think Van de Beek is also one of our attacking options. We're just overlooking him. That guy's every time he's in the box. Whenever VDB plays, he's in the box and comes short and asks for the ball in his feet and does his magic. And I actually like this lineup quite a lot, but I'm not too sure about the goalkeeping position. I would have liked De Gea to play this match, just for assurance at the back. Like I'm pretty optimistic about this lineup, but I'm not buying Henderson as of now. But yeah, Cavani is a headache for Fabinho and Robertson. I don't think Rhys Williams will go anywhere near, or Trent will go anywhere near this guy. I think Rashford and Greenwood is a headache for Rhys Williams. It's my opinion.
Now, contrary to going to kneel on this, the contrary to what Klopp said on the post-match presser, that you have such beautiful players and you're playing such a defensive and negative brand of football. So what we see is a role reversal where Liverpool are actually having two up top cramming that midfield area, and United have played a trump card out here because we all expected United to play that 4-4-2 diamond, Pogba out on the out wide in his usual Mezzala position, dominating the channels, if you say the fullbacks and keeping the fullbacks at bay. But here again, what worries me is Paul Pogba and McTominay and Liverpool's diamond of a midfield, where Paul Pogba's positional play has been good. We'll talk about Paul Pogba a bit later in the segment. We have a segment restricted for him. But suddenly, this Neil asking you, hasn't been this been? You said how this has been a role reversal, but even though Cavani would be a bigger problem for Reece Williams, but if Liverpool play the way they played like last time, I don't see United getting up the ball. But again, Greenwood, Rashford out on the wide will test what I told you last year, that testing those flanks, keeping your fullbacks on way. Neil, do you think that this match is going to be even more straightforward? Maybe a stalemate that we saw like Man City versus United in the Premier League, or this is going to be hell of a FA Cup tie to remember, actually?
I feel the second is coming straight at us, to be very honest. United playing a 4-3-3, Liverpool playing a 4-4-2 diamond, and I have always been in love with Van de Beek, and I have been complaining and a bit nagging over calls that we used to have, that why are you buying the likes of Van de Beek just to warm the bench up? You can get a heater at lower price, for fuck's sake. Anyway, I'm not supposed to use such languages over here, but anyway, I mean, he's a great player. I have always liked Van de Beek from Ajax days, and I've been following as well. I wished he was playing for us, but well, here we see, Thiago, Wijnaldum, Milner, and Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones would be the person that would be going from box to box. Particularly, Milner is kept, I feel, is to take up Pogba's position. Just do nothing if possible. Just go and look after Pogba. Do that, because he's the from the United's lineup. He's the only player in the midfield with that physicality, who can move, who can turn, who can run, who can, just slash you and chokeslam you and move ahead. Talking about chokeslam reminds me of something else anyway. But I feel both the managers had something in mind that this can't be a draw, right? This has to be fruitful in some way or the other. So Klopp going with the 4-4-2 after, I mean, 4 to 5 matches which were very disappointing is very much understandable from his point of view, and also he doesn't have much players at his disposal at this point of time. And he tried on Ox a few games, and he wasn't showing any proper prominent signs as well. But I guess it's a shocker for me from United's point of view. Yes, I wanted Van de Beek to get more match time. I wanted Van de Beek to be much more involved in the game. But 4-3-3 from you guys' point of view, with yes, from you don't have a number 10 now. We are trying to play a number 10, and Cavani up front with both the wings with Rashford and Greenwood. Yeah, Greenwood. So I think this should have immense space as well, and that is a point of concern for our wing backs, and especially if not even if Cavani would be in the middle of the pitch and he would be heading straight to hit the ball to finish up straight forward, and Fabinho and Reece Williams needs to do some brilliant work right there. Else, I don't see any of them stopping Cavani right there. I think then there has to be. It has to be a big game. It is a big game. It's a strange and very exciting lineup. And Reece Williams, that guy's got some guts, and I wish, yes, I too wish, as Anujit said, that he shouldn't be lingering around anywhere near Cavani's presence if he's that smart. But if he is that brave enough, then he should be going up to Cavani with some headers and all. At least do one clearance, and you get our cops respect. You know how Liverpool works. We are all about respect, and you do something brave, and we are up with you. So, young lad, we expect a lot of out of him. So let's see how it goes. But I think it's all going to be in the midfield, to be very honest. It's all in the midfield that
So lineups are done and dusted. So Anujit, that was a very long segment. But before that, if anyone who's watching right now is new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. 500 subs is the target, and I hope that we achieve it very soon. So Anujit, Pogba starting with McTominay, and it's a testament to Paul Pogba, since Mino Raiola came out with that statement that he has been bang on with his performances, playing out left, playing out wide against Burnley, playing from midfield, given that wonderful assist for Martial against probably Sheffield, if it was the Sheffield against Sheffield. And he reprises that same role with a McTominay, a hustler in midfield. We expected Matic and McTominay to start. But Ole actually has gone from a defensive-minded approach to an all-out attack, if I may say. And Liverpool are the ones who are actually stacking up the bodies and trying to stop United at Old Trafford. So contrast of images. So talking about Paul Pogba, how much do you rate his performances since that Mino Raiola fiasco? Like, how much?
See, I've been a United fan for a long time, right? And I knew Pogba from his initial days, like when he was in the academy. And the way he left, I didn't like it at all. But when he came back, it was a moment of joy. I didn't care about the price tag at all. I was just jumping. But the situation since November, December, the way it panned out, the way the agents, and I don't want to talk about that guy. He deserves no attention from me. So the way things have panned out, I believe that you might call me LUHG, Anujit LUHG, when I say this. Pogba is basically auditioning for a summer transfer. That's my take, because out of nowhere in this December, January, you turn your tides around and you perform this way, like you have, and consistently that too. Where was that before? Where was that before your injury, before your ankle injury? So this is what frustrates me about Paul. He's a darling of the club. We love him so much, but he never gave that respect back. Anyways, talking about, yeah. See, if I was Klopp, I wouldn't expect Matic to start today because he has no legs to play against Liverpool. I'm very sorry to say that I'm countering your point, but Matic has he has the brain but no legs to match up with the pace of Curtis Jones or those Gini Wijnaldum, or James Miller is also another a prime example. But look at James Miller; he doesn't look 35 or 36 to me. He's like
Right.
22-year-old, 20-year-old player who has this most underrated career in England and club football. Anyways, so McTominay, as you said, is a hustler. He's not talented, but makes up with his work rate. I love that about this kid. He's not rated enough. Fair enough. He's not talented. Anyways, but yeah, I forget McTominay Pogba. I expect a lot from Van de Beek. He has got a start. He has got his first break, a huge break against our rivals Liverpool. So I expect a lot from Donny. Pogba, he will do his thing. He will try to do his thing. We know how he plays. As you said, Mezala. So let's see, Mezala, inshallah, and yeah, and Mason Greenwood, he's becoming slowly becoming Dan James now. I'm sorry to say this, but jokes apart, Mason has to step up, and so does Van der Beek. These two have to perform for themselves. Like Neil said, like Reece Williams has a point to prove. He will eventually come across Cavani at some point of the game. Obviously, it's 90 minutes game, it's a long game. So same with Mason and Van der Beek. They have to step up, being
Now
young kids.
the problem with Mason is like he's the naturally center forward minded player. Now he was initially burst onto the scene because of his both two-footedness, ambidextrousness on
Yeah,
both feet.
ambidextrous.
So what happens is when you're playing out right wing, Mason's initial instinct is to cut inside and then to shoot the ball. And the way he was rated because of his unpredictability is becoming bang average and predictable. Even though he has a bang on right foot, he always, whenever he takes the ball, if I can see that, anyone can see that he takes the ball, cuts inside, and makes a shot or makes a pass. The first movement is cut inside. The very first movement. Even if he takes on his man, the first movement is cutting inside. I don't know if playing him out wide is causing that, but let's see. He has a lot to improve on
Yeah,
the
you
game.
can see that. I'm sorry to cut in. You can see that the Bournemouth match, if you see the behind the scenes and all angles camera shot, you can see Ramsdale shouting to Charlie Daniels, "Close the space. Don't give him space. He will shoot. He will shoot." See, these players know. Obviously, he got eventually found out in the coming season. So he has to change his game. He's 18 or 19. He's younger than me, so he will eventually change his game. He will eventually come out good. Hopefully. Let's see.
Okay, going to Neil on this, like you have your opinion on Paul Pogba, right? Like as Anujit said that Paul Pogba, where was this from before the ankle injury? Like he was a father, but he's not playing on his pitch. Andre bloody Gomez got a double fracture, recovered, came back on the pitch, and Paul Pogba was still nowhere to see, but maybe dancing in his Instagram videos. All that bullshit away. But at this point of time, Paul Pogba is performing very consistently, giving his heart on the pitch. And personally, with all the allegations aside, I would not mind Paul Pogba going out of United, giving us the 21st title. Neil, your thoughts on the whole Paul Pogba situation?
I have been telling that, Paul Pogba was injured with the ankle thing. Meanwhile, Andre Gomez getting a double fracture, breaking his leg completely, where his feet was hanging off his leg, and during a match, that too during a match, and he could come back, and all Paul Pogba could do was become a father. Meanwhile, no offense meant, but until and unless your agent comes up and speaks with his loud mouth like Paul Heyman of WWE, you don't perform. How does this make you a good player? I have seen somewhere very recently in a big sports channel, and that Paul Pogba has actually equaled his record back then in Juventus and over here in United, that 126 games and 28 goals or something like that. So yes, but the stat speaks for itself. Yes, it does. But look at the involvement or the effect that he had in the Juventus's side, and what he has over here. I pointed out a few videos to you actually, Neil, and I told you that look at this guy, look at Pogba. He just fell down with a weak challenge, with a very soft challenge, and he's just sitting there for 6 to 8 seconds right there, and taking almost 15 to 20 seconds to get up from a single position. For Christ's sake, a counter attack could take place in 20 seconds, and any team could score a goal in 20 seconds. and he's just taking 20 seconds to just get up. No injuries, nothing. Just he fell down and he's just getting up after 20 seconds. That kind of laziness on the pitch, I don't know. I mean, we have always respected the likes of United, Arsenal, Liverpool, the clubs that forms the topmost of the league, and this kind of playing behavior, I don't think this is acceptable. And this is not just for this season. I tell you, last 2 to 3 seasons I've been saying this. And Pogba is in the United for last 5 years, I guess, 5 or 4 years, and this is the third season. 5 years, yeah. So in the last 3 seasons, I've been saying this. Mino coming up and speaking with his loud mouth. Pogba is. I'm thinking for a new club for Pogba and all of this, and certainly Pogba starts to play very well for 5 to 7 matches. Bam, one injury hits. He becomes a father. He gets married, or maybe he's doing that, coffin dance, or whatever it is, and then he again's down. Nowhere, nowhere. He's nowhere. When the preseason comes, he's doing well, he's doing good, giving United fans a good hope. But then again, nothing. End of the day, whenever you think about Paul Pogba, yes, you don't think about that he was back here in United's academy or something. You think that we bought that player for 100 million. Considering the 5 years performances that he gave for 5 years, I'm not talking about a year or two, 5 years, do you think he's worth 20 million per year? 20 million for a player for just 1 year, and this kind of performance. Consider, just exclude this part, this 4 matches or 5 matches at a stretch. Consider the last ones. Is it acceptable? Would it, if had it been some any other player like James or Brendan, he would have been benched. And I commend and I actually respect Ole and that manner that he had, that guts to go back and bench Pogba over there. I really do commend that. So you either perform or you leave the space, because this, I think, is one of the. I am a Liverpool fan, but I don't have any shame in accepting that that United is one of the best clubs on the planet Earth, and you either leave the place or play well. There is nothing in between. There shouldn't be anything in between. There is no one like Pogba, but there are hundreds like you.
Now, considering how Barcelona paid 140 million for Coutinho, we are at a safe space. Now, considering how Barcelona paid 140 million for Coutinho and then again had to pay a 5 million bonus for scoring a goal against them, I think Paul Pogba is in a safer space. So everyone,
Two goals,
all
two
Barcelona fans
goals,
will be.
2 goals and an assist in the space of 13 minutes. I don't forget things.
And I'd like to make a
Shambles,
point: we are
all
not
shambles.
like deluded Chelsea fans who will, like, if Paul Pogba helps us win a trophy, big trophy this season, if a Europa League or a Premier League, we won't post like Fernando Torres, like everything is paid off. Fernando Torres scored a goal in the final against Barca. It's paid off. He's won the money. Best striker, best number 9. We won't do that. You can count on it.
Banter aside, talking about strikers, Fernando Torres and stuff. Now, what brings me back to the folklore of what Liverpool stand for in present time are these three gentlemen: Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino, and Sadio Mane. And Anujit, they're not firing at all. What the team around them are the same. The attack is the same. Is it improved by Diego Jota, Thiago Alcantara coming in, bossing the midfield? But suddenly, none of them are actually finding their shooting boots and taking Salah playing a bit selfish. Liverpool fans on Salah's back that maybe it's time to break. Even Jamie Carragher coming out live and saying that it's time to break up that front three. They have had their time in the sunshine, and maybe someone needs to actually jiggle that up. Anujit, your thoughts on like how why they are in this case, and how do you just solve it?
See, if I was a recent guy, if I want to start following football from day one, I would
Mhm.
watch Liverpool. And Liverpool, because of these three. Why do people watch? Why do neutral people watch football? Why do Americans watch football? For the goals. I'm very sorry. It's very offensive to say that this way, but unless there are goals, they won't watch. They won't watch a 0-0 Liverpool versus United. They will want to see a Leeds game, 5-4, 6-1, a basketball match, as Brendan Rodgers said once. So yeah,
Mhm.
these three are one of my favorite trios in world football. and especially that guy Mohamed Salah. He's my favorite Liverpool player, and looking at, he's still a top scorer of Premier League. No, so you can be happy about that. But yeah, they are misfiring at the moment. Maybe they're getting found out by the deep blocks, as after the Burnley game we have seen that, and I think they need another man in that trio who can score goals. Roberto Firmino can't for me. I'm very sorry to say that. As I said, there should be a link between creation and execution. Firmino is the epitome of that. Before him was Thomas Muller. Next, this guy, Roberto Firmino. But yeah, Mane is a
Raumdeuter,
workhorse.
space interpreter.
Yeah, exactly, Raumdeuter. Exactly, and Mane is a workhorse. He doesn't get talked much enough, but he's better than currently in the last 2 seasons. I can say he's better than Neymar Jr. Banking on his performances. And Mohamed Salah is Mohamed Salah, one of the best players in world football currently. But yeah, see, if you can stay in the happy times, like if you can back them when their fighting goes, why can't you just just give them some time to go through this rough patch? I request this from the Liverpool fans and the critics as well. So stick behind them, because you know their qualities. They're not like they were average player. They became like we are bound to expect these performances from them. No, Firmino was good at Hoffenheim. Mane was proving himself at Southampton, and Mohamed Salah. See, Chelsea
All of the
still.
players that we scouted.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he was fighting at so no, I think that they need time. They need us. See, after this, I what's next Premier League match for Liverpool after this?
No clue. Neil, you have any idea? Next Premier League match for Liverpool?
We are facing West Ham.
Yeah, you're facing West
Sorry?
Ham. So yeah, West Ham. So I expect these three to start again, and they need to score from that match and so on. And I also think Van Dijk plays a huge part in the attack. I can see Van Dijk raising his
Anujit, we
arms and
cannot hear you. Anujit, we cannot hear you.
hello, hello.
Just check the mic. There's something wrong with the mic.
Can you hear me
Neil,
now?
unmute yourself. I cannot unmute you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Anujit, you have been completely audible. You have been audible.
Okay, maybe I am having the
Oh,
problem because the
yeah.
call just came in. Am I audible? Am I
Yeah,
audible?
Yeah,
yeah,
you're audible. You're fantastically audible.
Yeah, okay. Neil, just muting you for once. So, like Anujit said, that this trio was one of his favorites. Now, going back to the same topic, Neil, do you think that it is because of the deep block thing that we talked about, how Van Dijk is influencing the half spaces and these players thrive on those players, or is it just a mental thing right now because they are the undisputed trio, MSN, BBC, CR7, Wayne Rooney, Carlos Tevez, all that aside, these three are the trio to look out for right now. And at suddenly the pressures again building because you expect a lot from this trio. And is this that a mental side to their game that they're trying too hard at times to influence the game that their natural gameplay takes away? Or is it just going back to Van Dijk, where, as Anujit said, there needs to be another trio? But usually it was either Wijnaldum or your right-sided player Henderson popping up with a few. Suddenly, without Van Dijk, the deep lying playmaker cannot move up, has to stay back and guard the defense, and your wide forwards cannot actually create that space. So, Neil, do you think that whatever is it a case of both at this moment of time?
I really feel that it's just about time. Players do have these phases where they don't create, or they have these phases where they don't score goals. It's unfortunate for us that all the three, our front three, are facing this at the same point of time. It's just a sheer coincidence, if I am to say. But they will be back. They will be back with all guns blazing, and it's just a matter of one game, and those front three, any one of those front three, let them score once. I can bet all my money on those three that they will be back in form. And it's not just about those three players. It's also about the players that behind him, that's creating a lot of things that they expect. I think that's one of the reasons why Klopp signed Thiago, because our attacks were becoming one-dimensional. The wings, the flanks, those holes, the spots were always wing-oriented, and
Half
nothing was
spaces.
created from exactly those half spaces were not exploited from our side, and we were not attacking from the middle as well. We sold Coutinho, yes, but we never actually bought or got a replacement for Coutinho. We expect maybe Naby Keita or Thiago to do that, maybe shooting from the middle or maybe creating from the middle. And we have seen Thiago trying a bit as well. It takes time to cope up with the Premier League and the levels of the Premier League. We do understand that, and we do give time for that. It's all right. We won the league last season. We are expecting to win something this season, amid this COVID situations and everything. So it's all right. I completely agree with Onujit that we fans need to back up our front line. Yes, they're facing a dry patch or rough patch at this point, but well, they gave us one, 2 to 3 beautiful seasons of our lives. I mean, come on, 97 points, almost 100 goals, and breaking Alan Shearer's record. One season wonder. I dare you, anyone who says that about Mohamed Salah anymore. One season wonder, come on, tell me right now that he is. Anyway, but it's just about, it's just a matter of time, to be very honest. Just one of them score, let one of them just score goal in one match and they will be back. They will be back. It's just that rough and dry patch that they are facing.
Now, Anujit, and Neil, it's time for the prediction segment, the final segment of our show. So, prediction time. Anujit, starting with you. FA Cup fourth round winners on the way to Wembley. What's it gonna be?
One prediction that is spot on from my side is one team is going through.
Mike, Michael Owen just had a heart attack.
I'm so sorry. No, so yeah. See, I don't like jinxing stuff. Okay, on a positive or a negative note. Okay,
Yeah.
and you don't want to lose against Liverpool. Come on, man. So score predictions. You want score predictions, right? So I think
If
I
you're
will.
superstitious, you can avoid it
No, I'm not superstitious and all that.
because a lot of superstitious people
So
are there whom I know. So,
so obviously I'm backing my team. United will go through. Maybe it will take some extra time, I think, and there won't be so much goals in the open play as we expect. It can go to penalties, but I say 1-0 to United or 2-1 to United, maybe. So that's my take. I'm very sorry if it doesn't pan out that way.
Neil, do you think United are going gung ho, and actually maybe we can see a reverse philosophy and Klopp coming up with that decisive goal and edging it 1-0 and starting the resurgence of Liverpool? Or because Liverpool have not scored in 4 matches, firing blanks, as I said, and what better a match, a FA Cup knockout tie, a classic encounter to actually regain your form?
120th minute on the clock, it's 0-0. Suddenly the ref decides to check VAR and a penalty is given to United, and Klopp rushes out at referee. I die over here. You are laughing with everything you have, and all the United fans are dancing naked. Bruno is showing his teeth, and probably that could be one. Else, I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. But I feel it's going to be a 3-1. That's going to be a 3-1 for Liverpool 3, United 1.
A very bold prediction there by Neil. So Anujit says 1-0 or a 2-1 to United. Neil says a 3-1 bolt to Liverpool because of the tactical reshuffle and might just find that mojo. And if you just ask me, I am not a guy for superstitions. I deal with facts, figures, and what's on in front of me. So I would say that this United has had their philosophies or their setbacks in cup competitions. But for once, I actually see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer naming a team capable to attack. But again, Paul Pogba in his role, that worries me a lot considering Liverpool are playing that diamond. So I would believe it a 2-1 loss to United. Very honestly, a 2-1 loss to United. But we don't know. This is football. What we can do everything on pen and paper, but the players have to go out on the pitch and have to perform. And you never know what is going to happen because this is the beautiful game, not soccer. This is football. So much thanks to Anujit for sparing his time, and I hope you are safe in that COVID period. Neil as well. I hope that Klopp stops complaining for once. And any last words before the match?
May the best team win without any penalties gifted. And Anujit, my friend, stay safe there. You're in England right now. Stay safe there and take care of yourself. And please, United, no penalties, man. Bruno Fernandes. I fear that that's the only thing that I'm worried about. To be very honest, the penalty to United, because Pogba decides to fall down, clipping his own legs, or maybe boot hunting Rashford and gets a penalty like that. Klopp lashes. I could visualize that actually. Klopp lashes out into the ground and all that, and lashes out into the ground. I don't want that to happen. Otherwise, it's going. I feel it's like a sixth sense that I'm getting or something like that. That is going to be a 3-1 for Liverpool. Let's see how it goes.
Anuji, final words on the selection that United are going 0-0 into 120th minute. Bruno Fernandes comes on to take the designated penalty kicks, the 5 spot kicks, the deciders, but actually get a 120th minute penalty. And whatever happens, Neil said, on the scale of 1 to infinite, how elated will you be on your fellow Scouser supporters? You're on mute, just a sec. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me here. It's been a pleasure from my side, at least. And yeah, FYI, Pogba didn't clip his heels at Aston Villa match. Douglas Luiz hit his training leg, and that's why he clipped his legs, and hence he tripped. So it's a penalty, legit one. Anyways, yeah, I would love that. Who wouldn't love that? So let's see. But no, I don't want penalty wins, even though penalty is a part of the game. But I won't give any excuses for that. That United went through of penalties. I want a clean match, a sober match. You can't get that nowadays. So VAR is always there to interfere, do their bakchodi, and I don't want to say sorry. I'm cussing. Sorry for cussing. So yeah,
No
so
problem.
they're always there to fuck things up. So yeah, hope for a good game and hope for United win. That's about it.
Okay, that's pretty much about it. Thanks, Anuji. Thanks, Neil. We see you very, very soon. And we thank you for your time. Stay safe and let's hope for a good game. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So that's pretty much about it. Netflix football pre-match, Manchester United versus Liverpool, and it's going to be a cracker of a game, guys. It's going to be a cracker of a game. And with you guys, I have reached 400 subscribers. It was amazing reaching that feat in a month and 10 days, and I hope to complete 500 within February the 5th, Cristiano Ronaldo's birthday. I plan to make a video on that. So stay tuned on this channel. The PES streams are not coming on today. I'll be doing it tomorrow. The match days are on. But today is just about the Northwest Derby and FA Cup Classic, it might seem, because both teams have gone gung-ho in attack. We don't know what is going to happen, but what we know is that going to enjoy the beautiful game known as football. So stay safe. Stay tuned to this channel. Bidding you goodbye. This is your boy Neil. This is Netflix Football, and hope for a good match. Since this is the match, so a GGMU at either side. Let's win it for tonight. So bye bye.